See, this is Lebu from Nongwealth. We attended yesterday's growth one, and it was the masterclass. It was awesome. It was awesome. Great value. So now, what my question was is that I wanted to ask that since we are in the property space and we actually buy deals and then refurb them and then actually sell them. So now my question was that if we're going to get funders, in which we have funders right now, right? So now my question is that how do we actually get money from them without actually violating the FSP?
Yeah, great question. And first of all, congratulations on your business. And I'm glad that you're thinking about regulation, right? Because it's one of those things many entrepreneurs very seldom think about. Regulation and compliance are not sexy parts of the business, but they will collapse your business if you don't know what you're doing. And they will quickly curb your enthusiasm if you don't pay attention. As you know, in our firm, we have a juristic sponsor because we thought long and hard about, do we go down the licensing process and spend 2 years, say, doing that, or do we focus on building the business and get ourselves a big brother from whom we could use as a juristic sponsor? And we went with a lot of strategy. But the answer to your question is actually much simpler than that. Here's what you can't do. You can't take other people's money as an investment to invest on their behalf. So don't do that. The other thing you can't do is you can't find people and advise them on how to invest their money. Not unless you have a Category 1 FSP license, and by the sounds of it, you don't. So you can't take the deposit capital in and invest it, right, and act as an asset manager because you don't have a Category 2 license. And you can't advise because you don't have a Category 1 license. So what I think you should do, actually, is you should rather play the role of origination of the deals and then play the role of charging a percentage commission on successful deals closed. You're going to need to really pay attention to your legals here because you want to make sure that you walk just the fine line of where you add value, because where you add value is where you want to be liable and culpable. Beyond that, you don't have the expertise and you don't want to be liable for those risks. What am I saying? I would say to my clients, look, I'm going to do two things for you. The first things I'm going to do is I'm going to originate the deal. So if you have a property that you want to get investors in, I will look for investors on your behalf, okay? Then I would say, but I'll find a certified financial advisor to come in and help with the structure of the deal. I'm not going to structure the deal myself. I'll find them, but what I'll do is I'll find the person who'll structure the deal and I'll find the people who want to invest in the deal. I'll just do the origination, okay? Once it's done and the deal is successfully closed, I want to take a percentage of the commission off the top and I walk away. That way you can spend your time building relationships, building rapport, building great networks with corporate finance sponsors who will do the advisory work for you, and looking for the investors. I imagine typically high net worth individuals. This is Vusi, right? Who will invest in these properties. But you don't want to be held liable for what happens once the money's been invested in the property. That's not your game. If somebody has R1,000,000 and they want to invest it, they should never give that money to you. They should never know your bank account. That's not your game. So find yourself somebody who can do the deal structuring. Find yourself somebody who can do the advisory bit. You do the introduction, you do the origination, you charge a percentage, and you walk away. Now, I know that it looks like you're leaving a lot on the table. I'm aware of this. But rather leave a lot on the table now. Test this process out. Do 30, 40, 50 deals. Then once it's done, you know what the deals are, you know what the risks are, you would have seen the ricochet effect on deals that are done where things go badly, as well as the boomerang effect on things that are on deals that are done and things that go well, and you'll know where you should build a business. But what you should not do right now is take on somebody else's money and invest that money in an asset. You don't have the license to do so. You'll definitely get yourself in trouble. And you're a young man who's got a long future ahead of him. I'd just say find yourself somebody who can help you with it. Okay? Cheers, boy.
Vusi Thembekwayo, micro fund, yesterday's seminar. Value, value, value. My name is Neono, co-owner of Nongwealth. My question is with regards to deal sourcing. So within deal sourcing, what we do is that we focus on two properties in particular. A property that's distressed or a seller that wants to do a quick sale. So what we will do is that we will run the numbers thoroughly, so also attach a Lightstone report, then find an investor. These potential investors, once we present the lucrative deal, we hear if they're interested or not. So my question is, how do we protect these deals from being hijacked from investors?
Yeah, look, my guy, really, really good question. First, I think if you want to answer the question around how do you protect deals from being hijacked, you have to ask yourself which part of what you do is proprietary to your business that nobody else can replicate. If people will only hijack something that is easy to do and easy to replicate, right? So you've got to figure out something in your process and your value proposition that's difficult to do and hard to emulate, and then that's kind of where you start when you're trying to get people to stop duplicating your process or copying your value proposition in the marketplace. The second thing is, I would seriously consider making our clients sign a non-disclosure and a non-circumvention. The non-disclosure protects you and the client. In case the deal doesn't go well, you are prohibited from speaking about the deal, right? External of that conversation or external of that environment. And a non-circumvention protects you from the client going somewhere else seeking the same services. Then third, I think actually the best bet for you is not really to worry about how do you stop people from copying what you do. It's not even to worry about how do you make your clients sign an agreement that binds them for not going somewhere else. The best way for you to de-risk your business is to have a better way of selecting clients. Admittedly, it's difficult now because you're in the early stages of your business. So I imagine what you're doing is you're looking for as many deals as possible and you want to monetize as many deals as possible. The funnel approach, right? So the sales funnel, and classically you're trying to fill in as many deals at the top as possible. I understand it. But if I was you, what I would do is I would develop a template, an A4 template on what is my ideal customer. Race, age, gender, consumer spending, access to credit, size of property, value of property. I'd write like a criteria of my ideal customer. And then I'd look for those ideal customers. And then what I'd do is I'd make sure that when I engage with those ideal customers, I test the character of the customer. It's the best way to make sure that you don't have these issues. But if you're in a business that's easy to replicate, where you don't have a lock-in clause on your clients, then you're going to find it very, very difficult for your clients not to go somewhere else. What you've got to do is you've got to figure out a way to introduce barriers for your clients that makes it difficult for them to leave your business and go somewhere else. Okay, but good luck with it. I hope that helps you. Cheers.